Okay, so I just finished episode 4 of season 2, and I'm going to be getting into major spoilers from the episode. So if you haven't seen it, keep scrolling. All right, so ever since we saw this image in the trailer for the season, I have been anxiously awaiting when we were going to get to this. So basically, they're on this retreat. They just appear there. And so ever since episode 1, people have been saying Helly's a plant. But I actually was not, because people were saying, if she was not a plant, how would she know not to reveal what she saw on the outside? Which makes sense. But I still was kind of like, she could be, but is she? And then I watched that TikTok on here, which I don't know how many of y'all have seen it, but where they're talking about the tones that are played when the Audis get in the elevator, and then the tone that's played when they transition to their innie. And so that was, I think, maybe the end of episode 2, I think, where we see Helena get in the elevator and you don't hear the tone, which is confirming to all of us, okay, she's a plant. So then once I watched that TikTok, I was like, okay, Helly's a plant. And so then watching her on the show, knowing that she's a plant, once I realized that and I saw the way that she was acting, I was like, oh yeah, she's definitely a plant. And what is so, I think, fascinating about Severance and what they're doing this season is that they are emphasizing that who we are as people has so much to do with the experiences that we've had. And because these innies, what Dan Erickson, the creator, said is that season 1 was about childhood and season 2 is about adolescence. So these innies, the list of experiences that they have is very short. So, they're happier, simpler, if you will, versions of who they really are because they're not carrying the weight of all that they've been through in the outside world. And what it just really makes me think of in my own life is those of you that follow me and have been following me for a while know that I talk about how my grandmother passed away in 2017. It completely changed my life. And how what I tell people who have recently lost their mother or their maternal figure is that who you were is dead. That you are a completely new person now that will be mostly shaped by this experience. And it's kind of like how, we think about Mark losing Gemma. It's like his innie didn't lose a wife. So his innie has a completely different personality, feelings, everything. And it's also so fascinating that it kind of seems like one of the reasons why Helena wanted to, be a spy on the severed floor and do all that and pretend to be Helly is that she wanted to experience being the recipient of Mark's affection and attention because she doesn't have that in her Audi life. And so it's just so fascinating and so interesting because now the power dynamic is completely off because Mark is an innie, Helly is her Audi self, or Helly is Helena, her Audi self, but innie Mark has no idea. So really all the power is with Helena. So it's just very interesting, that dynamic. So Irving catches on that Helly is actually Helena because she was cruel to him and Helly was never cruel. And that's something that also resonated with me as well, because it's like innies don't have the capacity to be cruel because they haven't experienced the things that would make someone cruel. And so I thought that was actually really profound. And it's also like, now that any Irv has lost Bert, now he has become cruel. So I thought that was very interesting as well. So he exposes Helena, threatens that he's going to kill her unless they bring Helly back, and Helly gets brought back. And now, because of that, Irving, has been terminated. And so now it's like his innie never existed because they're going to get rid of all his personal things, all of that. And it's just fascinating to think about the fact that, okay, you've got this separate version of you that's been created, but if you don't go to work anymore, that version will cease to exist. So also just some other things I just wanted to quickly talk about. So they see that dead animal and Helena pretending to be Helly, which Britt Lower is a phenomenal actress because the way that she played that was remarkable. So she's saying, why does it look like that? And Mark is like, well, maybe this is just what dead things look like. And that was the first time that I realized, oh my God, they've never seen a dead animal because they only exist at work. And then when Milchick tells them, this is the tallest waterfall in the world. And I'm thinking, no, it isn't. But they don't know that because they've never seen a waterfall. Like, it's just the deeper that you go with these innies versus outies, it's just so, the more incredible this entire concept becomes. So I really enjoyed this episode. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Try to kind of keep it, don't reveal everything, just in case, somebody who happens to see, who hasn't seen the episode. I try to protect people from spoilers as much as I can. But see you in my next video.